Hi everyone, I'm Nix. If you ever wondered how much your family background influences who you are, in many cultures, especially in Chinese education, we often avoid discussing this crucial topic, how our family of origin shapes the way we see the world. Back in 2019, when I was speaking with international colleagues, noticed something interesting about Stanford University's recruitment program. Few Chinese names among the selected candidates. This raised a question in my mind. Why was this happening? Professor at Stanford shared an insight that stuck with me. Many Western universities perceive Chinese students as lactional independence. While this may sound uncomfortable to hear, it's an issue worth exploring. What does lack of independence look like? Unclear example is the mama's boy stereotype, something women worry about when choosing a partner. Why do mother-in-law conflicts become a major issue in marriages? Because the influence of a dominant mother can extend into our son's adult life, making it difficult for him to separate his own decisions from hers. Statements like "my mom says" or "my mother told me not to" can make a relationship unbearable. Real struggle isn't just between a wife and her mother-in-law. It's a battle for emotional priority in a man's life. Why do family patterns repeat across generations? This brings me to a concept I call love injury. In psychology, we talk about self-injury, emotional wounds, and hidden trauma. But I believe we also need to discuss love injuries, our ability or inability to love ourselves and others in a healthy way. Many people in my own country approach problems reactively rather than proactively. We don't establish emotional boundaries early on, and as a result, harmful family patterns continue. When we reflect on our own personalities, we often realize that both our strengths and our struggles come from our parents. Some aspects of our personality develop in direct opposition to them, while others are unconsciously inherited. This is the foundation of personality inheritance, the multi-generational influence of family. Why do family patterns hold such a strong grip on us? Because the previous generation was also shaped by their parents. For example, if your mother is overly controlling, chances are she's also dominant. Control comes in many forms. It's not just about strict rules, strong opinions. It can also be emotional manipulation, excessive concern about appearances, or dictating life choices without room for personal growth. Tracing these patterns back, we often see the same behaviors repeated across multiple generations. Through my research, I've found that family influences can persist for 5 or more generations. How are these patterns passed down? From birth to around 6 years old, we're like sponges, absorbing everything from our parents, their behaviors, ways of thinking, and even their speech patterns. Problem is, no one interrupts this cycle. Imagine a river that flows from a mountain. If the water at the source is polluted, then every stream tributary that follows will carry that pollution. If our family's emotional habits are toxic, they continue flowing through generations unless we actively intervene. Breaking the cycle. Many people believe the solution to change their parents: stop being so controlling, or your behavior affects my parenting. But in reality, changing someone who has lived with these for decades is incredibly difficult. Why? Because as people grow older, change becomes painful. Parents' generation has already invested so much time into their way of life that they often resist altering it. That's why I always say, trying to change others is one of the things in the world. But changing yourself, that's more achievable. If we want to break free from generational patterns, we need to start with ourselves. Can we adjust our thinking habits, behaviors, and communication styles? Understanding that family patterns are passed down can empower us to make conscious changes. If our parents' influence is so deeply ingrained in us, then we need to be extra mindful when raising the next generation. So how do we stop harmful patterns from flowing into the future? How do we create a filter to purify our family stream? In the next session, I'll dive deeper into strategies for breaking free from negative family influences and creating a healthier emotional legacy. If this topic resonates with you, let me know in the comments. How has your family of origin shaped who you are today? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more discussions on self-growth and emotional well-being.